In this demo, I'll show you how to use the automation rules feature to change the behavior of your admission controller. So let's take a look at this sample Kubernetes YAML file. You'll see that it's a fairly basic file. I'm doing some good things from a security perspective by disallowing privilege escalation. And typically when I go to deploy this file into my cluster, it shouldn't have any problems. And you can see here, we were able to successfully create that deployment and our admission controller did not block it. And if I go back to the Fairwinds Insights platform, we'll see that we were successful in deploying that application because we have the green check mark. But we also see that there's a few different warnings here that the admission controller is telling us, saying, despite a successful deployment, there are some potential configuration issues. And one that I really want to start enforcing and blocking on deployment is making sure my teams are setting memory requests. Now, to do this, I actually have to increase the severity of the memory request check so that I can instruct the admission controller to block it. So let's go over to our automation rules feature. Here, I've already set up a check that I need to enable, but you'll see that I'm able to tell the system anytime it sees a memory request missing event type, increase the severity to 0.7. In Fairwinds Insights, any severity that's greater than 0.66 is by default considered a danger severity. And when an event is processed as a danger severity, the admission controller context, which you can see is set right here, will automatically block that deployment. I'm able to actually find out about a list of supported checks here in the Documentation Center. And you'll see that we have over 100 different out-of-the-box checks that you could use to work with the admission controller. And in this particular example, I was able to find that the memory request missing check here was the one that I wanted, and by default, it's set to warning, and I'm looking to increase that. So let's go ahead and enable this check and save the rule. And now when I go back to the admission controller, we'll try to redeploy and see if it works. First thing I'll do is just to delete the testing namespace where I had originally deployed that file. And I'll go ahead and redeploy the configuration to make sure that we're now watching the admission controller operate the way we expect it to be. And we've got to create that namespace. And perfect. It looks like we've got that error that we were expecting, where memory requests should be set. And as we can see in this config file, we do not have any memory requests. And so it looks like my automation rule was able to take immediate effect there. Now, I can obviously disable the rule as well if I want to just revert it back to its normal behavior. And if I do that, I can reapply, and you'll see that we're able to create the deployment.